Hi, families.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. You said it first. We hope you're doing well. We are really excited about this video because we do have some strategies that we think will really help you, not just while your child is in kindergarten, but throughout their entire educational career. And it is all regarding comprehension. There are two different types of comprehension. There is listening comprehension, when you read to your child and you ask them questions. And there's also reading comprehension, when your child is reading independently. Are they understanding what they are reading? So for reading comprehension, right now, most of your children are reading a lower level text. Not all of them, but most of them are reading a lower level text that's more appropriate for their reading level right now. And those texts are harder to ask questions, as there really isn't a plot.
Yeah.
But we want to show you what you can do to ask your child questions to make sure they're understanding what they are reading.
For example, this book is called Things That Float, and it has a pattern, so it repeats the same phrase over and over again. Look at the boats, they are floating on the water. Look at the ducks, they are floating on the water. Look at the ball, it is floating on the water, and so on and so on. So a way to help your child with comprehension with a lower level text like this is ask your child to recall what was floating on the water. And then to engage that higher order thinking, you can ask your child, what are other things that float on the water? Is the title Things That Float an appropriate or a good title for this? What would you title it? And just trying to engage a little bit more thought into what they're reading besides just the words.
And something else that you can do is also have them make a text to self connection, and they are familiar with that phrase. So asking, have you ever floated on a water? On a water. Have you ever floated? What does it feel like to float?
Yep.
What are other things that can float? Have you read a book about something else that can float? It's really just making those connections to themselves, to other texts that they've read, really engages that higher order thinking.
And in this circumstance, this is a nonfiction text because it has photographs, and just also talking about those text features really helps. Adds a skill.
You can even say, can you write a story about something that can float? Because if it's a nonfiction or if it's fiction, whatever it is, can you write your own story about something that can float? There's so many ways to go about it. But if you are reading to your child, which we still highly encourage,
read to your children.
We know we want them to read to you, but there is nothing better than an adult reading to a child. They learn so much, whether they're hearing the fluency in your voice, the expression in your voice. That is so valuable. So please don't ever stop reading to your child.
And I was telling Ms. Johnson that I've been, during my conferences, I've been encouraging parents to, even twice a week. I know story time is a lot
at nighttime,
bedtime kind of routine for many students. But even twice a week, if you just sit down when they're wide awake, you can engage with them and go into the comprehension aspect of it, without it being, oh, look, we're trying to calm it down. We can really get their thoughts going.
Right. Bedtime's a great time to read and not ask any questions. Just enjoy.
It's enjoyable.
Yes, but before they're all cozy in their bed, just read. And a strategy that we use, and this is a higher level text that some kids can read and most right now are not able to. This is a mentor text called Chrysanthemum. And something that we do somebody wanted, but so then. And we kind of make it a rap. And by the end of the week, they will know everything about somebody wanted, but so then. And it works with any story. So if we think about Goldilocks and the Three Bears, somebody was Goldilocks. She wanted a place to sleep and eat, but that was illegal, yes. What was it? A wanted. Wait, no, hold on. Somebody wanted, but so the three bears came back to the house. Then she ran away. It works with any story, and that's how they can retell the story.
And that also works from another perspective. You could have
the three bears.
Have them change characters. Oh, well, what if somebody is the bears? Somebody wanted to go for a walk, but a naughty little girl broke into their house. So they stood around her and grounded her, and then she ran away.
Yes.
So it changes how they can perceive and looking at the different perspectives of the story.
Yes, and perspective is actually a vocabulary word this week. Yep. But that is such a great tool. Also, as well as who are the characters in the story? How do the characters feel? How did the feelings change throughout the story?
Have you ever felt like that?
If you could change the ending of the story, how would you change it? There's so many ways, but a consistent way that would be a great way to retell the story is Somebody Wanted But So Then. And once it's a familiar story, they can retell the story to their dog, to their stuffed animals, to anybody who will listen. Retell the story. Vocalizing and retelling the story is a huge standard in kindergarten.
And we often say, good readers read a book more than once. So
absolutely,
if your child wants to read the same book 100 times, read it.
That's great.
It's okay. It's okay if they almost know it word for word. That's when you can start engaging those higher order thinking questions. What would you do if you were this character? How could you change it? Things like that. Really getting them to engage in their thoughts really helps.
Absolutely. And before we end, we just want to share a couple things. With the assessments that we've been doing on the kindergarten report card, we do assess name, address, birthday, and phone number. And we get the best answers when it comes to address and phone number. When I ask, what is your address? Where do you live? Oftentimes they'll give me directions. They'll say, okay, you go down the street and then you turn and then you go around and then my house is right there. Or like, it's just so adorable. The best ones are when you ask phone number. How do you call? Can you call mommy or daddy? What's their phone number? Well, I don't have a phone. Or we get, well, you just press 2. Or you just, I don't know. They're just adorable. So Miss Bowers had a great idea to support learning phone numbers.
So I've been suggesting that you make that your child's tablet password. If your child has a tablet or even for your phone so they can use it, make them dial the phone number in before they can play with it, and they will very quickly learn it. And especially if you limit tablet or screen time. If you say you have 15 minutes on this and it takes them 10 minutes to get in, guess what? They're going to get faster and faster.
And another one for address, I suggest making your address like a song. Sing it, make it a rap. I have students that are now in high school and middle school, and I still know their address because of them singing it to me. So sometimes that's just something simple that you can work with your child at home. But we hope that you found this helpful, and if you have any questions, please let us know. And otherwise, we will see you the end of this week. And just a reminder, no school on Friday. Bye.
Have a good day.